KLEK 1 to 2.5 forecast. It'll be partly to mostly sunny and the high around 40 today, northeast wind 5 to 10. Freeze warning again tonight, temperatures in the mid to upper 20s, light winds, partly to mostly cloudy. There's a chance of rain showers Thursday, just a few, the high near 50, partly to mostly cloudy. Showers and maybe a thunderstorm Friday, mostly cloudy, the high in the mid 60s. Jonesboro, that's your KLEK 1 to 2.5 FM weather.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. US President Donald Trump's rejecting the release of 2 pages of his 2005 tax returns as fake news. At least 25 people have been killed in a suicide bomb attack at the main court complex in the centre of Damascus in Syria. The people of the Netherlands are voting in a key general election. And European Council President Donald Tusk says Turkey is detached from reality amid its row with the Netherlands.
2 Corinthians chapter 9, verses 8, 9, and 10. And God is able to make all grace abound to you, so that having all sufficiency in all things at all times, you may abound in every good work, as it is written, He has distributed freely. He has given to the poor. His righteousness endures forever. He who supplies seed to the sower and bread for food will supply and multiply your seed for sowing and increase the harvest of your righteousness. This is a mouthful. All he's saying is this: look, whatever God has given you, He expects you to use it for the glory of the kingdom. So the more you sow, the more is multiplied and returned back to you. He will give you enough to satisfy you and satisfy your neighbor also. But are you looking at it that way? God's blessings come to you. Do you think it's only for you? Or help those who are less fortunate than you as well? Be blessed.
It's 10:06.
KLEK 102.5 FM, and we're back. We have an extended version of Community Conversations today. Joining us in the studio is Reverend Dr. Charles Coleman. Dr. Coleman is here today to further discuss the Fisher Street Community in Action neighborhood cleanup, which takes place this Saturday. So he asked to come back to the studio to just clear up a couple things and to give out some more information about this event. So we want to welcome Dr. Coleman to the studio.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
All right, Dr. Coleman, you've asked for this time, so the floor is yours to let the listeners know about everything that is going on.
Well, first of all, I want to thank God for allowing me to be here, but at the same time, thank God for this radio station in this community.
Thank you.
I want to make sure, I didn't say that the last time, but I said, well, when I go back next time, I'm going to make sure I put a mouthful out.
Thank you.
One of the things that we're doing, we have not so much a new thing, but it's an update on what we're going to be doing. I've had a lot of phone calls. Thanks to this station, I've had a lot of phone calls.
Oh, wow.
Asking about where the material needs to be placed, so forth.
Okay.
And a lot of them have thought that maybe that they bring a lot of that material to the church, which is 301 North Fisher. That's not true.
Okay.
What is true is that the feeding that we're going to be doing from 12:30 to 3 or 1 to 3, hamburgers, hot dogs with the chief police, and some more training, and even some prizes, by the way, that we're going to be giving out. We didn't talk about that before, so that's going to happen from actually 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. But one of the most important things is that to tell you exactly where we're going to have the cleanup, and I'm not sure I talked about that much, so I'm going to say it this way. We have a map, and it's actually from Johnson to Belt and all areas in between. From Johnson to Come and Go off 141, and then Patrick to 141. And the reason why that's important is because we are going to have a cleanup program in 3 phases.
Okay.
This is just the first phase. Okay, the second phase is going to be off 141 going west over in the, what I call the Ginger area, that housing area.
Okay.
The third phase is going to be from Patrick to Magnolia in that area. So this phase that we're having now is actually going to be starting from Johnson to the Come and Go, from Patrick over to 141 on the east side of 141.
And for those of you that are viewing our Facebook live stream, we do have the map that Dr. Coleman is talking about on the screen. So even if you are not watching on Facebook Live, you're listening on the airways and you when you get a chance, you can check out the video. It will be posted on our Facebook page, and it does have the map on the screen, which you can check out to see the areas in which Dr. Coleman is talking about.
The other thing that we want to make sure that they put things on the curb. We are not allowed from a city standpoint to go into people's yard. That's an illegal thing that we don't want to do. So we'll just be coming on the curves. Actually, the boomers will actually be picking up the heavy material, the trash, so forth. We will be going by with handbags and gloves and that type, picking that type of thing. One of the other things important that the sanitation department came by and we talked about yesterday is tires. We're not going to take tires. And if they decide, somebody decided they didn't get this information, if they bring a tire, they don't have to have an address, because we have a lot of people bringing tires from other places, and the department that they take the tires to actually charge them. And if you as a household member were to take a tire, then that goes what you have to pay for if you went out to sanitation to drop it off. So we'll make sure those things are clear. But more importantly, we want not just the people that's coming from different departments to come out here to clean up. This is a city thing.
That's right.
And so we're asking people that even in your own house, if you come out and see us and help us pick up the trash, around your house, along the streets, these type of things, especially Patrick, and especially close to Come and Go. There's a street out close to Come and Go, Pine, Cedar, Maple, and we will be crossing all those particular streets. So again, I appreciate this radio station showing this map on Facebook, because some people thought, well, we're just going to clean up everywhere. No, this is once again redundant. This is a 3-phase cleanup, and so it's going to be very important to make sure they understand that.
And I've been trying to do my part to pass the word around. I've reached out to several sororities and fraternity leaders and civic organizations that I know, and other nonprofits that say they want to be more involved in the city. So this is your opportunity, all civic organizations. This is your opportunity to put your money where your mouth is.
Absolutely.
We want to see you out in full force. Wear your t-shirts, whatever you wear for your organization, and represent. And let the people know that even if you don't live on the north side, you still care about that side of town. You may have friends or family. You may go to church or shop over there. Let's try to do better to uplift and upgrade the north side of town. We would love to, during election time, when we talk to various council members and city officials, the comment that comes up the most is, how can we draw more businesses, or how can we draw more to the north side? Well, first you got to clean up. First you have to make it appealing to individuals that want to bring their money into the city and bring businesses here.
Well, I'm glad you spoke of that in terms of this is our city. Not just north side. This whole complex is our city, and we do need all these particular individuals from different sororities or whatever to come out and to understand, because it's kind of sometimes being a councilman, somebody will call you and say, well, we need something done, and you'll ask them where they live, and they say, well, you do it. And I'm saying, wait a minute, this is for everybody.
That's right.
Everybody. And then at the same time, we're starting Fifth Street Community in Actions. It's trying to start up a whole lot of neighborhood watches to try to stop the crime, but not at the same time a clean city. We need more buildings. We need more progressive buildings, more business on the north side. And when industry come in and they look at your town and they look at the areas you're living in, that says a big thing why they will not come or they will not come.
One thing I want to address, I saw some negative feedback on Facebook when this announcement first came out. Someone made a comment about the police being out and about, and it's like almost the same when the judges did the program. That people thought it was a setup. So now they're thinking, okay, this is I hate to say setup, but it's like giving the police another way to kind of be nosy and snoop. So let's please, let's dispel that myth right now.
Well, I think we need to stop that kind of rhetoric, mainly because if you're not doing anything wrong, why would you worry about it? That's the first thing.
Yes.
I'm an old gangster come off the street, so I'd probably be the first person to run from the police. But now I'm running to the police because the police is helping this community.
That's right.
And the chief is probably going beyond what he's supposed to do,
Yes.
to try to influence this community, to help this community. So, you know, and I have to be careful, especially as a councilman, in things I say, but it kind of gets to me a little bit when I hear that type of negativity, because once again, repeating, if you're not doing anything wrong, what are you worried about?
That's right.
You know, and if something happens in your community that you know is wrong, you have these children that we're responsible for, especially young people. We need to show a better image.
We do.
And showing a better image, saying that we enforce to make everything liable for this community. So I'm very proud to be able to help the chief in this type of thing that we're doing in the community. And he has extended to me and Fifth Street Community Action to help us better. The housing area in Jonesboro, North Side, is getting better. The new apartments coming up, and people are investing in all that. So that means that we are doing something right on the North Side of town. And so to have the chief to back us, to try to help protect us, to protect our children, I mean, what more can you ask for?
That's right. You listen to a special edition or extended edition of Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM, and we're speaking with the Reverend Dr. Charles Coleman, and he's a council member for, what is the ward number again?
Ward 2, Position 1.
Ward 2, Position 1. And so, even though he represents that side, when he goes to the council meetings, he represents everyone as well. So we need everyone from all sides of town to come out and join in this program, well, not a program, in this event, in this effort to try to help clean up this side of town. It has, I don't know, I've lived over here for 20 years, and I've seen a lot of ups and downs, lefts and rights. And there's still room for improvement. I just hope the individuals that live on that side of town come out in full force as well and show some interest in bettering their neighborhoods.
Well, we have a potential to be greater than we are. And, you know, I wake up every morning thinking, asking God, what can I do?
Okay.
And so by actually going to the chief of police and asking what he could help us do, and for him to volunteer services. And I think everybody needs to volunteer their services.
Yes.
I think that we need to enhance each other. It's just like this radio station. Once again, this is probably a total blessing to the community that should have been here a long time ago.
Yes, sir.
But now that it is here, I think this radio station needs financial support. I mean, you didn't pay me to make that statement.
No.
Well, we appreciate the endorsement, and we thank God for the station.
Yeah. And so, you know, that type of thing, and hopefully that the station gets bigger, larger, and a lot of these events, you know, it'd be nice if we could get you guys out there as a radio station Saturday morning. But at the same time, we know there's other things prior that you've got engaged. But we're mostly asking, and I'll even use the term begging for people to come out and see what we're doing. Just don't come out to eat.
That's right.
And by the way, we won't start feeding until about 1 o'clock. So
you might as well come on out, get your gloves, your safety vest, and whatever else you have. Wear your good work shoes and old jeans, and you know, if it's cool, put a jacket on, hoodie, something, and get out there and really get your hands. I'd say get your hands dirty, you know, but get down and dirty. Help clean up the neighborhood. Help make a difference. Show the people that be a neighbor to your neighbor.
Well, I've even asked the city council. I've even spoken at city council several times, and it's kind of, I'm really excited. Really excited that the first time I've asked the council as a whole to participate.
Okay.
And you'd be surprised at how many council members have emailed me back and said, we'll be there.
That's wonderful.
You know, city officials, the finance department. The young lady Suzanne asked yesterday, what do I wear? I just wear some dirty clothes. I mean, you don't have to come out there looking cute, you know.
Because I promise you come out there 8:30 with your hair and makeup done, by 1 o'clock you're going to wish you had to just put a headscarf and a hat on.
Absolutely. And then at the same thing, we just don't want, we want all ages. We want to show our children that we're about something.
That's right.
And so if your children see that you are investing in yourself and your pride in your community, then guess what? They're going to do the same. They're going to mimic the same thing.
I've been having this conversation all week long about, you know, it's the parents' responsibility. It really is the parents' responsibility, but whoever plays a caregiving role in a child's life, it's your responsibility to teach them something beyond just where they are at that moment in life. Teach them community service. Teach them how to give back. Teach them how to not be selfish. Because at some point, you may be that person on the other end that's needing help, and you would want someone to be gracious and helpful to you. Teach them how to just step outside themselves and just be better citizens.
Well, it's just, it's the responsibility for all of us. I had to learn the hard way that all of these children, regardless of who they are, wouldn't ethnicity that they are, belong to us.
That's right.
I'm a product of coming up without parents. And one of my things that I sought to try to do when I got grown was to give back, and to, when I got married, to make sure that I give my kids all the love, all the things that I could give them, not all the things they wanted,
That's right.
but all the things that they needed. But at the same time, I taught my children to do the same thing when they get married. So it's also a teaching lesson that when you get involved in the community, not just on the cleaning program, when you get involved in the community as a whole, because you live here, especially if you're going to be here the rest of your life, that is something to take hold of. And people recognize you to the point, it's not just city council people, they recognize that you are doing something in the community, so they will call on you, they will invest themselves in you. And that's the thing that we're trying to also promote as a whole with these cleanup programs, not just to clean up, picking up the trash, city, but to let people know that this city didn't just belong. You mentioned a few minutes ago about me being a councilman. When you picked it in Ward 2, Position 1, that's the whole city voted on you. It's not just the north side voted on you. So I have an obligation to this whole city.
That's right.
I would love to do some more personal things on the north side,
Okay.
but you can't do certain things from a council level when you got other 11 more councilmen
Yes.
bidding for the same thing. So we have started the widening of Patrick, something
Okay.
that I fought for years, and hopefully North Patrick is to me, it's my next goal to get it widened, because
Okay.
over there they have a lot of projects, I call it projects, but
Okay.
building complex over there where kids are walking the street, but at the same time we need to keep them clean.
That's right.
So other realtors would invest in helping, or we have other people step up and say, oh yeah, well, if what they're doing on the north side, let's see if we can go and help them
That's right.
get these things done.
Because people have talked about, banks. I'm sorry. All that we do have on the north side is the ATM. I know some gas stations have ATMs, the grocery store, and then there's one ATM down by the bookstore close to college. We would love to have, maybe even if it was a drive-through
Absolutely.
banking branch, that would be really nice to have. Yes, okay, we could go over the bridge and but for people who say don't have a car, or they can only get a ride right around a certain area, it would be beneficial.
Well, the other thing is that on the north side, and this is I've raised for, I've been here 20-something years, and I want an extension of different commodities on the north side, especially on 141, Kentucky Fried Chicken, places like that, food places, if you need something, building material, you have to go all the way across town to do that. I just think that's absurd that we have to do that, but at the same time, I have to also understand, everybody has to understand, if you don't invest in where you live, then why should somebody else come and put that type of business there?
All right, let's pass the collection plate. Okay, I'm sorry. You're just speaking true. You're just preaching. Not preaching, but
Well, he is a pastor.
Well, it's just something I've been saying, and I don't go out even on the council saying a lot while I'm there, but I do a lot of working behind the scenes. Everybody wants to be seen, but right now, God has allowed me to be in a position that I don't have to be on. Not being negative today, but I don't have to be on the radio, I don't have to be on the newspaper or channel, whatever, because I think that working behind the scenes sometimes you get more done.
Yes.
And so, praise the Lord, I've been able to work behind the scenes, but I've fought for these things, and I will continue, as long as I'm on the council, fight for more businesses to come on 141. And at the same time, I understand the plight why they can't.
Yes.
Because we have different rules. We are also in a floodplain area, and that's a lot of investment that you'd have to invest to bring the ground level up to where it needs to be, for you to put that type of business. So I don't think a lot of people understand that.
Yes.
When they say, well, we need this and we need that. Well, yeah, we need a lot of things.
Yes.
But state statute, city statute said that you have to be prepared for that. And I'd hate for be sitting at Kentucky Fried Chicken and start flooding.
I know that's right. And this is one thing we talked about again during the election time. There's a lot of city planning, land surveying, and okay, now businesses are maybe having to build those retention funds. That costs money, that takes time. So there's a whole lot that goes into it. So,
But again, back to the cleaning, that's things that I get talked to about.
okay.
When I talk to business people on, I have to say, but on the south side of town, the east and west side, they will bring that up to them. Well, Doc, it needs to be clean over there.
Okay.
It needs to be an investment from the community. So, in doing these cleanup programs, it's not just something for show.
Okay.
We need to let people know that this is what we're doing. You said that you would do this if we do this.
Okay.
All right, Dr. Coleman, we got about 1 minute left, so let's kind of wrap things up. Give it a reminder once again about the cleanup this Saturday and the pertinent information.
Okay. I'm going to give you the areas again.
Okay.
I think that's really important. We're going to be working from Patrick, North Patrick, over to 141, and the what I call the east side of 141. I come and go, and then Johnson, and all these streets in between.
Okay.
And once again, there is a map that is going to be on your Facebook. And we have the sanitation department today is actually going out showing these maps and actually handing these handouts out to the community. So we got a lot of support from the city and the sanitation department, by the way. So I want to make sure I give them a shout out, and they do a lot of work for us.
All right. Dr. Coleman, thank you for stopping by the studio. This is an extended version of Community Conversations. You guys have a great and blessed day. This is KLEK 102.5 FM.